The moment before you post, you took the photo, hovered over post, then put your phone face down on the table and left it there. Not shyness, not insecurity, something quieter than both. Most people override that feeling, but some people don't. And what psychology has found about the ones who leave the phone face down is far more interesting than anything that ends up on a feed. 4 deep reasons people don't post on social media. Stay with this to the last one, because the 4th reframes everything. 1. They don't need you to confirm they exist. Most people post for one reason they'd never say out loud. They need to know the moment was real. The like confirms it. The view confirms it. Without the response, the dinner, the holiday, the milestone, feels somehow incomplete. Psychology has a name for people who don't need that confirmation. Self-concept clarity. A stable sense of who you are that doesn't require external validation to hold its shape. The experience was already real when it happened. The like doesn't add anything. They were fully present at the dinner table, not performing it from behind a lens. They validate themselves in private. And the applause has simply stopped being interesting. The person who never posts isn't missing confidence. They found a version of it that doesn't need an audience to survive. 2. They know what posting costs. The moment you build a consistent public presence online, your audience builds a fixed version of you. Every post, every aesthetic, every opinion, crystallized. Psychologists call this identity crystallization. And once it sets, it becomes a cage. You are no longer a person. You are a product with a brand identity. Any deviation, a bad day, a changed opinion, a moment of genuine humanness, cracks the facade. This is why actors paid to disappear into other people refuse social media entirely. Their power requires remaining fluid. The moment they crystallize online, the illusion breaks. In real life, you are different versions of yourself with different people. Louder with one friend group, quieter with another. That isn't inconsistency. That is health. Visibility has a price, and the currency it takes is the most private part of yourself. 3. They are doing while others are posting. Psychology has a name for what happens at a concert when you reach for your phone. The photographer's paradox. The moment you decide to capture an experience, you begin to leave it. You shift from participant to performer. The music is still playing, but you are no longer inside it, because the experience and the performance of the experience cannot fully coexist. The concert becomes a clip. The dinner becomes content. Every moment converted and slightly hollowed in the conversion. The people who don't post have solved this, not off the grid, on their own frequency, eyes open, hands empty, completely inside their own experience. Silence is often mistaken for absence. But for these people, silence is where the real work is happening. 4. They are protecting something that can't be recovered once lost. This is the reason nobody talks about. And it only lands after the first 3. We are living in the attention economy, a system where human attention is the commodity being harvested, processed, and sold. Every post feeds the machine. Every image, every private fragment of your life converted into content becomes data, becomes profit, becomes a crude algorithm's version of your desires reflected back at you, until you can no longer tell the difference between what you wanted and what you were shown to want. Kierkegaard wrote in the 19th century about the danger of the crowd, the slow erosion of the individual self beneath the weight of whatever the crowd rewards. He could not have imagined social media, but he described it precisely, because the crowd today isn't just other users, it is the algorithm, and choosing not to post is choosing not to feed it. A person sitting in a field at golden hour, watching the light change, telling nobody, is doing something increasingly rare, keeping a moment for no one but themselves. In a world designed to harvest every experience, that quiet act of keeping is one of the last genuinely radical things available, the one that can't be used. So why do some people not post? Not because they're shy, not because they have nothing to show, because they've understood 4 things the attention economy depends on, most people never realizing. That validation from within is more stable than validation from a feed, that visibility has a price, and the currency is the most fluid part of yourself, that the experience and the performance of the experience cannot coexist, and that in a world designed to harvest your attention, your memories, your identity, the truest version of you is the one that can't be used. You don't need to be loud to be powerful. You don't need to be seen to matter. And if you've ever kept a moment for no one but yourself, that is not smallness. That is one of the most sovereign things a person can do.
If this made you think, subscribe for more.